it's time for Owen and Andy once more for our first game of our lower bracket elimination match. Go! Go!
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last series of the day. It is no Diggity up against VP. The loser of this will be out at the DreamLeague LAN finals. I'm OD Pixeline, joined by Andy, of course, aka Draskell. And we're into this one, and looking at the two drafts, VP with very much kind of a classic VP draft here. This feels like something that we saw them used to do, even with the older rosters. And over on the side of Diggity, something that they have brought up already today, this kind of dual core combo of the Tiny and the Nagasara. What's going on in this game, Andy? Break it down.
The battle begins. Worthy tribute.
Let's see how this is going to go down in terms of lanes. It is, of course, going to be G on his Quap against Koifa's Nagasaren. Already we see Spirit hanging around, so we'll see how well this matchup is going to go for them. Already leading in onto G. They know he's got 1 point at the Shadow Strike level 1, and they want to try and abuse it, but themselves, just not really enough damage. Koifa with level 1 illusions, it's not really going to do too much. And well, Yapso just having a bit of fun with FNG at the moment. Actually, both just trying to man up against each other. Yapso rolling in aggressively, but the turnaround magic missiles there, and Yapso, he may have just given up first blood here to the side of VP, and he has. All right, that's not the Spirit gang you're looking for.
That was a little bit questionable, to say the least, that roll. I think maybe he was assuming the dagger was going to be on cooldown for a little bit longer, and he would have been able to just walk it off, but miscalculations were made in round 2.
Absolutely, let's try again. Interesting stuff indeed in the mid lane.
I mean, it kind of lets Koifa farm a little bit more, but you obviously just don't want to give away the first blood.
Just throwing your body in. That's the strat that they're trying for at the moment. The other lanes, of course, Yoku on this off-lane Magnus. I mean, this is something that this goes back kind of a few Dream Leagues ago. So I feel like this is...
He did this when he was on a different team. Like, he did this back when he played on Empire.
That was it. Yeah, and it was brilliant as well. He has had some amazing games on the Magnus. It's definitely one of his kind of just like magic tricks that he pulls out, Yoku on the Magnus off lane.
Now we'll see what he's able to see VP. Yoku in the off lane, he was dominating while the rest of his team was. And yeah.
Burden United. Yes, he's got to kind of calm down a little bit, Yapso, after the early plays that he started to look for. But all in all, things settling down here in the laning stage, and with the CS favouring side of VP just slightly across the board with the fact that the Jug and the Quap are having slightly superior times in lane. 1-0 still at the moment, and G starting to put the pressure on in mid. See him doing his best to harass down Koifa, trying to shut down this Naga early on. We saw earlier in the Nagasaren game where Koifa was able to get that radiance, but it was still a point where the game was unable to be kind of recovered by that fact. So VP, I mean, against this lineup, at the same time, you know, how worried are you about late game Naga Radiance? I feel that VP, they've certainly got a lot of scary potential as the game will go later and later.
I mean, RPs are always going to be terrifying, but it's more a matter of, can you ever catch the Naga Siren and an RP in a fight where it really matters? Because the thing about the hero is you're typically in the back line. You're never putting yourself directly at risk. Koifa's going to be chased on the mid here a little bit. Has the mirror image available just in case. But as far as the super late game, it's more about VP finding the engagements. Because if they can find them, I think that they'll do all right. But Naga's notorious for just keeping the lanes pushed in. Gonna see a Shackle here.
Under the commons, Yoku as well. He's going to take a fair bit. Man goes up,
did.
skewers away. Is he going to make it?
himself.
Oh, Yoku.
Ooh.
Beautiful
We'll
play.
take it.
Absolutely. Walk it off. G. He's going to grab himself the bottom room. And he's nearly touching onto that level 6 as well. So then he's got the kill potential top lane. Alara does no fit, going for a play on Yap. So they'll glimpse him back. He's stuck in the field. And with the Blade Fury as well, they'll get it. Second one on the board for VP. As Kezu, he needs to be careful. FNG's got a DD. This is going to hurt. This is really going to hurt this man. And with that crit, they might have just done it. One more touch and they'll find it. Another one for VP. Great rotation from FNG. And so far, this laning stage looking up for the side.
Yeah, they're playing a very fast-paced game, and I don't think that the rotation so far from Diggity have really been up to snuff. Like, it's not that Yapstar has to really kill anyone. He just has to pressure a little bit. You know, let Quakefei get his free farm. Let the safe laner, you know, Era continue to get his farm. I'm assuming they're going to do the same thing they did before, which is Era just goes for Blink, tries to play more of the space creator, allow Quakefei to just continually hit creeps and try to get ahead, get towards the Radiance. And even if the timing is a little bit late this game, which it could be, as given the way the lanes are kind of breaking down so far, even though no Diggity are getting the farm, they're still getting pressured and they're still losing out on at least in terms of hero kills. So it's a little bit concerning, but as long as they don't lose too much more, they should be all right.
Look at this G. He's really got an FNG as well. Was beginning to wrap around, but you can see just how aggressive G feels that he can afford to play at this stage. And with FNG there as well, if they get a magic missile into a Sonic Wave, they've got potential of killing this man.
Bottom lane, speaking of kills, see you later, Yoku.
I'll catch him out this
Arena.
time. Might be able to get himself away with the rotation for Yaps as well. Top lane though, low hard does no fit, going in aggressive. They'll take down Kezu.
It's a hard life when you eat Omni Slash.
Absolutely.
I mean, that ward is doing quite a bit of work for VP, the one on the high ground. I think that's the second kill they've gotten because of it. Seems like all the TP reactions, they knew Kezu was alone the first time. They get another kill on him there. It's already secured them quite a bit. And, you know, Aloha Dance being level 6 at under 6 minutes as a safe lane is also very nice.
He's got to come back into the lane, but as you said, he needs to be careful. He really, really does. VP, they've got the catch, they've got the kill. Bottom lane as well, Era, he's 30 for 7. He's obviously got that one assist and nearly touching on to level 6, so things are going all right for Era in that sense. Mid lane, Yapstar's looking to set something up onto G. It's going to be hard as on the sidelines, FNG's already spotted him out, so Yapstar unable to find anything and unlikely to do so with the Venge still hanging around, just backing up G. Yoku returning down to his bottom lane, but he does have to be careful. We saw before, you know, if Syndrome's able to get the reach around, get the initial lockdown, they do have that burst damage for the Tiny. And even Yoku on the Magnus, he's going to get very, very close to being taken down here. He's still finding the levels very nicely, though. Before the 7-minute mark, he's nearly got that level 6, and once he's got that RP, maybe we can see him start making some plays around the map or just comboing, you know, with rotations from G or even just FNG on the Venge to find kills on this lane.
Yeah, I don't know if he goes straight for the Blink, honestly. I think in this scenario, you kind of want Arcanes.
Okay.
Because Arcanes just allow you to farm so much more, and you can also go to jungle, you can stack, you can just shockwave everything down. It's just very nice because you don't actually know how much time you're going to have before No Diggity start applying pressure. Like, Shadow Shaman's already almost level 5 at 7 minutes. That's really fast. So if he hits 6, they start pressuring towers, and you don't like have more than halfway to your Blank Dagger by then. It could have been a pair of Arcanes that otherwise push out the lane and prevent the push. So I don't know if he goes straight for it unless he gets like a solo kill or something.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times, it'll be interesting to see how this jug goes, because I feel like we are seeing a lot of different ways with the jug. A lot of people kind of going away from picking up the Battle Fury first and opting to pick up other items like the Yasha and then kind of get the Battle Fury later on. I mean, if you're VP, I guess you've got the Empower from Yoku. Do you still need to get the Battle Fury this game, or do you just totally avoid that because of the fact you've got a Magnus in?
I think you skip it.
Yeah.
I think you just go for the stat items. You go for the fight efficient build. Like, this is back when we used to see like Aquila SNY all the time on Jug, was when you had this Magnus pairing. I'm not sure if he goes for that per se, but he could go for just like the straight up Manta style and the Fusel, or into Scotty like we often see. Sometimes even Blink is an option if you feel like it's going to allow you to get in and get a decent Omni Slash off. So that's the benefit of having that hero on your team, is it opens up your itemization a ton. Now, if he feels like he needs more mana regen on top of the Aquila, then, you know, maybe he goes Battle Fury, but that is Ultra Greed, more or less.
Oh. So actually going to be VP wanting to use this Omni Slash and wanting to use the fact that they have 3 up here. They're smoked up. Going to look for a wraparound. Let's see who they can catch out. I mean, catching out Quakeful would be nice on the mid lane, slowing down this man's farm on the Naga Siren. The The question is, can they actually catch him out of position? They're going to move ramp. It's a nice line of movement as well. It may just be Kessie
so
to tank
aggressive.
this. Yeah, they're going to find the
Oh,
dark
the
seer.
tree.
They get the initial
Nice.
Omni. They do. Jumping in. One more touch, and the Aloha Dance finds it. They'll drop down the static storm. Synderen doesn't cancel the TP. Follows through, and they're going to make him pay. Maybe it had a little bit of time to cancel that one, but he doesn't get it off. And there's 2 down on No Diggity again. And the fortification's not going to save this one. Another tower as VP really finding that early game momentum, but they're just, their lineup it works so brilliantly with them. With the blink forward, the glimpse back, they've found Yapzor out. They're going to be able to block off the roll. It's a killing spree now for Aloha Dance on this Juggernaut. He's 3-0-3. Phase Drum Aquila done all before the 10-minute mark.
Man, I don't know. This is a really rough early game to recover from. Okay.
Okay.
We'll take that.
Well,
We'll take that RP usage.
it is getting late.
I mean, if he lands it, he gets the kill, right? Because G still has Sonic Wave and level 3 Scream, so if that connects, it's definitely a kill onto Era. But there's a...
Yeah, G's got to be careful how greedy he goes here.
Is under attack.
Okay.
Okay.
That was just...
He was not careful.
No.
And they may actually lose more here with Yapzor rolling in. These are the kind of kills they need to find. You know, they were having a tough early game here, Diggity, but suddenly, well, they pick up a Quap, they pick up a Disruptor.
That was mega aggressive. Didn't we see something like that earlier today, too? Where they just get, like, a huge lead, get a bunch of really nice picks, brilliant rotations, good smoke, and then they just kind of, like, dove and threw away a couple of kills? Queen of Pain is not the type of hero where you can make those plays. Especially when you want to try to go for this Orca timing that she decides, you know, he wants to go. He's already got one Oblivion Theft on. It's 10.5 minutes in. If it's delayed too much, it just doesn't really feel that good. And honestly, against these heroes, Orchid, you have to have immaculate blinking. If you mess up your blink against Earth Spirit or Tiny, who's going Blink Dagger, or, you know, Song and Shadow Shaman with Hex, you just die.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can rely on the swap, but, you know, in order for that to happen, FNG actually has to be level 6 first.
He's nearly found it on this top lane. He's getting a bit of space in the Venge, and meanwhile,
Bottom
lane jumping in. What they're going to get? They're going to get Era in the Static Storm. The burst, they'll take it. We'll find the kill onto Tiny, but not before Era was able to go full in and pick up that Blink purchase before he died.
I mean, getting the dagger is nice, but the thing that I'm kind of worried about is the fact that it's 41 CS on the Mag and only 55 on the Tiny. Now, I know that's a lot to do with the fact that Synderen played a greedy role. Like, he's level 7 at 11 minutes, and this is a guy who's only been involved, I guess he's been involved in all of his team's kills, but you know, you compare that to like the Disruptor, who's been involved in 6, and he's just the same amount of experience, almost. So you can kind of tell that Synderen's been playing it more of a, I want to just make sure I get my ultimate as soon as possible type of style. And now they actually need to start pressuring. Like, if they don't do something with these Mass Serpent wards, and they're just waiting around for VP to come to them, they're going to very quickly lose control of this game.
I mean, they're going to look to try and find a jump with Varus Blink. This is going to be the Blink reveal. They'll jump in. They're looking for this Quap. And again, the execution is pretty much perfect here. The Magnetize will do it. G's not going to be able to get himself out of this one. Aloha Dance is coming across. Has got the Omni Slash. Who are they going to be able to find? They'll get Yapzor with the Glimpse back. They're not even going to need the Omni for this one. So they do take Earth Spirit in return. But it does cost them the life of G. So not necessarily a trade that VP will be too happy with, but the thing that's looking up for them at the moment is the fact that Aloha Dance continues to have this very clean game at the moment on the Juggernaut. 3-0-4, continuing to get himself involved in the kills, and he's farming an absolute treat.
Yeah, I think that, you know, all things considered, Synderen's probably the more valuable kill, honestly, and I think they probably had vision of both of them. I could have glimpsed him back instead, but you know, with him being alive, he's going to be able to go up top, maybe even drop the wards if he wants, but this tower is super high health. What a song. He doesn't have
not got a TP.
He's got a bill. We'll take it, though. Holding him in place, getting some damage on the tier 1.
Oh, look at that.
The ward.
No fear. Yeah, drops a ward to get the vision for the glimpse. So Aloha Dance with the wraparound. They'll find him with the swap back onto Yapzor. They're going to get themselves a second one. And just a really nice setup there for No Fear. Getting the ward down, getting that vision to get the kill.
I mean, every possible thing that you could conceive to go wrong this game for No Diggity has pretty much gone wrong. I mean, ever since like the first roll in from Yapzor on middle lane when he went on to FNG and just ended up giving away first blood for pretty much no reason, it was it's been a pretty rough road for them. And especially with Koikva dying so close to the Relic too, that is just absolutely painful.
They need that Radiance.
I mean, the one thing that's different about this game than the previous Naga game we saw them play is, again, the tankiness of VP's heroes is not quite as extreme. So you don't have to worry about like an early pipe timing yet. You don't have to worry about like getting through a Dragon Knight and a Lone Druid plus one other tanky hero. The Radiance Burn will do substantially more to this team than it would do to the previous match that they played. So they can maybe go for the delay, and they also have a freshly purchased mech on the Darkseer. So they have some options still. VP clearly in the advantage though.
Oh, yeah, so rolls away. You got to be so careful if you know, Diggity. Just giving up another kill to VP at this stage. And it really is, you're looking at that window for Quafer. A few hundred away from the Relic, as you said before. He did get shut down this time. It looks like he will be able to get away with it. Diggity smoking up and moving in, but VP, they'll dispel it. FNG hiding in the tree line. It is just him and the Juggernaut about, but there is also Omnislash available for a low hard dance if the side of No Diggity do come in trying to look for a fight. You pretty much got that Blink Dagger done on Yoku as well, and this is going to be huge item, as there's just so much follow-up from VP to a perfect RP. You've got the Static Storm, the Kinetic Field Control from the Disruptor, and at the same time you have an Empowered Jug with an Omnislash available. AoE from Prop. They have got brilliant team fight if these RPs are fair.
Yeah, this is getting not necessarily the critical mass just yet. Again, it's a very greedy support lineup for No Diggity, so again, pressuring a tier 2. Cinderin's, I think, just dead here. Yeah.
Fine, they're sending TPs in just in case Diggity wanted to try and fight, so VP would have the backup. And they'll be able to clear out the wards.
I mean, honestly, forcing a reaction is fine. Like, you drop the wards, you know, you die, you give away a little bit of gold, but you got, what, 60% of the tier 2's health in the safe lane? I'd say in your current situation, making that trade is acceptable, considering it means that it's more time for Quakefoot to continue to hit creeps. I mean, he's got Relic now and 300 gold, which is fine. I mean, it's not amazing, but, you know, he'll still have his Radiance of, what, 18, 19 minutes if he keeps up this pace?
It really is all about just kind of slowing down the tempo if you know Diggity. So Quakefoot is allowed to get this time to become that inevitable beast on the Naga Siren. But VP, they're not giving him that chance at the moment. They're really not. And their lineup, as we've seen, is very strong. They do a huge
They can just
amount of
Roshan,
damage.
right? Yeah, they're just going to go straight in.
I guess they do have to be a little bit careful with maybe a song setup, but the question is, I know Diggity, are they even going to be aware of this one? You've still got two heroes just pressuring in on the top lane. They're going to take it relatively fast, thanks to the
problem
Empower.
is the vision. That's the thing. Like, No Diggity only have one ward, and it's in the river pretty much, towards top rune. So with that vision, it doesn't really give you any real intel. Like, maybe seeing No Fear will give them a little hint of what's going on. Wait, they actually scanned the pit, so it didn't see anything.
Well, they scanned just outside, and it did catch one of VP's members coming out, so they did know that it was going on.
Yeah, but it was like right as it died anyway, so
Yeah,
it doesn't even really matter.
It was far too late for them to do anything. I think they realized that as well, as no one started to make a beeline for it. Aloha Dance does still go for the Battle Fury. He has got it done. So still
he's
a very
just
good timing on his build. I mean, his farm is just going to accelerate absolutely ridiculously.
Yeah,
We're already seeing him 2k ahead of the Naga.
He's so far ahead, honestly. Like, if you get Battle Fury in this situation, it becomes infinitely harder for you to make a mistake big enough to really pull the game back into No Diggity's court. Because you're just going to kill creeps so freaking fast.
And Battle Fury and Power on top of a Omnislash RP, that's no joking matter. That is...
Oh yeah, if you get RP
scary.
with Battle Fury and Empower, and then you get like 2 or 3 man Omni, all those heroes are dead.
We do have the good time though. So Quakefoot with the
that's
Radiance.
really fast, actually.
17.5 minutes, considering that the pace of the game that a VP is setting. Yeah, you've got to be happy with that kind of timing if you dig it.
Yeah, I mean, he's only got 1 death, so all things considered, he could have had his Radiance maybe a minute or 2 sooner. Don't know if it'll end up affecting it too much, but with this, No Diggity, they're making moves. You know, they're not just letting VP walk all over them, even though they clearly have the advantage still, especially with the acquisition of the Aegis here on G.
Already TPing back here for the defense.
So this is a really tricky situation for No Diggity. They can either drop the wards and try to force the rest of VP back, or they can try to go for some kind of defense and maybe go for a pick.
Looks like heading back is the play.
Yeah. The biggest issue they're running into right now is they only have 1 hero with catch, and that's Era. So I don't know if this is actually a Blink Dagger game for Cinderin, or if he wants to just go for the normal straight-up Aghanims, mainly because their team actually kind of needs catch. with what VP are playing.
Kezu's in trouble here. Talking about the catch.
Yeah.
VP, they've got a hell of a lot of it. Jumping in. Kezu did get the chance to surge, but the skewer there to cancel the TP. Kezu, he's a goner. Tries to go for a cliff play. Isn't going to catch either of them. And an interesting item here from Era. He went for the blink and now opting for that Midas. So I guess this is just kind of resting on the fact that he feels that Koifa can kind of stagger the game out with the Radiance. And this is, of course, just going to allow him to transition eventually into that stronger farmed late-game Tiny.
As strange as it sounds, it's probably the best item he could buy here.
Yeah.
Because you can't really get anything else that's going to matter too much. And you're probably still going to continue to avoid fights for the foreseeable future. Like, what engagement are you going to take if you're no Diggity with only one Blink Dagger? Like, you need an absolutely perfect jump.
Yeah, you need a Song into a Vacuum into an Earth Spirit combo.
Yeah, as well as the Tiny is on top of that. It needs to be absolutely perfect. So I kind of like it. It's going to give him the ability to stay consistent on farm. And in a game where, you know, neither team really has amazing vision control. There's no Night Stalker, there's no Furion for split pushing or anything. It's a bit more reasonable to go Midas as well. If you're playing against like NS or Beast and you're really far behind, then Midas isn't really that good because you can't really make use of it outside of the base too much and you don't have the space, especially with the Naga Siren. But because VP just are more of fighting heroes than anything else, they could actually find the space.
See this line being drawn. I mean, VP, we had to see them really make a big play with Yoku. If he can hit a Blink RP, it's going to be big. They are moving into No Diggity jungle. And No Diggity, they're just playing it very careful at this point. As you said, you know, with the way that they're building, they are looking to just avoid the fights. They don't want to take any risks. They feel that they don't need to. With already those key 2 items on Koifa, the boosted travel and the Radiance. They know that they can push this one out and just really kind of force VP to either get hyper-aggressive or they themselves just start to play for the later portion of the game because No Diggity, I feel that they are very happy with the fact that this game has slowed down in the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, it definitely has. But it's a slowed pace is still, I think, okay with both teams. It's just that No Diggity don't really have a choice.
Yes.
So whatever pace that VP start to go, you know, No Diggity are going to have to either avoid the fight if they go aggressive or just keep playing the farm game if VP want to play the farm game too. Because they only really have one plan. It's let's get items on our Naga Siren, let's get items on our Tiny. Whereas VP can say, all right, you know, we'll just control Roshan. Maybe we want to try to go for a smoke and make use of the Aegis on G, but even if we don't, we know we still have the map control advantage.
Yeah. I mean, Koifa's play at the moment, he was really getting away with it as well. It seems that the VP, they're unable to catch the Naga at this stage. They have killed him once earlier in the laning stage, but since that, he's always been able to read the map, getting himself in a position to get away with these pushes. At the same time, in the dire jungle, Tiny jumps in and he catches out Disruptor. No Fizz gone
This
just
is
like
good.
that.
Aegis just faded. So that means that VP's push is completely thwarted now. They have to worry about Naga Siren illusions in top lane. They're taking damage on their tier 3.
Look, Ara jumping in again. He may even find more as they move in onto GG. Will be able to blink out in time. A lot of dance. Thinking about returning in on this one. Has got FNG with the swap available, but Diggity, they're out. And VP, they just feel a little bit scared of reaching for a pull-in. They might find a kill, but at the same time, they're highly likely to lose heroes in return. And that is not what they want at this stage of the game. They need to keep this lead. They need to try and keep this momentum going. But with the way that the side of No Diggity is slowing it down, it really feels like suddenly you're looking at Koifa and you're asking yourself, if you're VP, what are you going to do to stop this Naga's progression?
I think they have to wait for the next Rosh, and then, you know, if No Diggity want to contest it, that's up to them. I don't think they would. It's just super dangerous. And then if you can stop that one more Aegis push, then No Diggity are probably fully back into the game. Because the crazy part is, VP completely dominated the laning phase. Like, it was not very close. They have gotten every single tower except for one, but the gold lead's only at 5k and maybe a little bit higher, right? So, all right. That Orchid coming out here on the Sin should be dead.
He's going to go for the TP out. He's not going to make his Sonic Waves. He's just thrown out.
Yeah. But I mean, those support kills don't mean a whole heck of a lot. It's more just like the Shadow Shaman wants to get objectives, but at the same time, Koifa having the space is really the most important part about this. And it's just the nature of a Naga game, you know? The Naga needs to be able to always be out on the map. And you can see the warding coming out here from VP. They are trying so hard to catch out Koifa.
Yeah, if they can catch him here, that you have got no free in FNG. Koifa, he knows.
Oh, Era's coming up as well.
You got to be careful if you're these two. Era can burst down, especially the Disruptor with the combo.
Oh, he didn't see him. It's nighttime.
They're going to try and make a go on him, dropping the Static Storm, the containment's there, and of course, physical damage from the Venge going to be pretty decent. Just with the 1 point in the aura, just getting the wave of Terror down and right-clicking through, they'll find it. Quaifa will get himself out of the lane. So again, it's just 1 kill, but this time it is a core. But space kind of created there for Quaifa. And this Naga is suddenly only 500 behind Aloha Dance's Juggernaut.
Yeah, it's not too bad considering how little of the map that he's had to work with for quite a while now. And getting heroes picked off only makes the map, you know, that much smaller. And the thing I guess they can look to on No Diggity is the tier 1 towers don't have any backdoor generation, so if he starts like cutting the waves and whatnot, eventually those towers will get whittled down. And regardless of whether or not they get denied, it's still control that No Diggity can say, okay, you know, we can push this wave out farther now. We can get it closer to VP's base, more space, more time for the Midas to pay off for the Tiny, of course. He's back up to 2,000 gold. And, you know, maybe, just maybe, if we hang on long enough, we can take a successful fight.
Manton out and Aloha Dance as well, so he's going to be that little, just that little bit harder to catch out in regards to the Spirit getting the silence through. I mean, and VP as well, you know, the gem that FNG's just purchased, they are going to be able to keep control of the map as they have been. Roshan, it's going to be slightly longer respawn time. But that probably is going to be the moment that VP will look to go in a little bit heavier if, as you said, they can secure that, get that Aegis under their belt.
I think they will be able to get it quite easily.
Yeah.
I don't know if No Diggity want to take the risk of fighting inside of the Roshan pit against VP right now. That is like super high risk with reward is not proportionate to how much risk you're taking.
You'd rather take it at the fight at the high ground, even if it's against an Aegis, against contesting. Because as you said, you know, you lose that fight, VP get the Aegis, you're pretty much guaranteed losing your racks.
Yeah. I really like this though. They buy a gem on Quakefa, so now he's going to go around the map dewarding. He's got the illusions as well to make sure that, you know, every single thing that he sends out is actually going to allow him to split pushes that much more effectively, makes VP waste more time trying to find him. And at some point, I wonder if VP actually just give up trying to go for him and just try to directly pressure or go for another objective like Roche when it spawns, and just say that No Diggity are the ones who have to come back and defend their own base. I think that's probably the safest way, because then if Quakefa decides to continue to split push and they just racks them, I think VP are still okay with that. As long as they can send like one hero back that's scary enough to force the Naga Siren to run away, it could end up working out. But for now, I'm actually surprised at how well No Diggity are managing to draw this out, because the early game was ugly.
Yeah,
like,
they've recovered this perfect.
Just imagine if the early game wasn't so freaking bad.
We'll see if they can find this kill on Terra here. The movement from VP.
Oh, Era's tanking the gank again.
Yeah, here we go. Gets the blink off in time though, but the vision's there for the glimpse back, and here we are with the beatdown. VP.
Nice song. Oh, he's dead anyway. Oh, maybe.
Oh!
That was nice.
Quaifa once again just keeping control of the game for the side of No Diggity. Plays like that, saves like that for the side, and consistently just keeping that farm rate high on the Naga Siren. This is, there's no doubt about it. VP, they're going to have a huge Naga issue on their hands.
They already kind of do, actually.
So, again, this is hard for Yoki to make this plays against this Radiance Naga.
I mean, it's the illusion season because it has a gem, so it's like, all right, well.
What are you going to do with the Shadow Blade? What are you going to do with the mid lane? They'll make the jump in. No, it does get the Static Storm out.
Wow.
It's a big one as well, containing 4 of the members of Diggity now jumping in with the Omni Slash. The bounces are good as well, the burst. G comes in with the Sonic Wave, they take down 3. Double kill for G on the quad. And just like that, I mean, off the back of Diggity coming in a bit too aggressively, No Fate getting the Static Storm out, allowing G and Aloha Dance to turn that fight around. That was just a bit of a mess from Dig, and bang on play from Disruptor.
Honestly, No Fear like just literally 1v4'd them with that Static Storm kinetic field. And because they knew that song was down, it's like, okay, well, Quakefa's not level 16 yet. I mean, it's 28 minutes in. It's kind of crazy to think that he's not level 16 when Aloha Dance is 17. But the fact is, he's not able to stay in experience range of the creeps that he kills because he's so scared of getting ganked. So he's spending a lot of the time just sitting, you know, not getting any experience whatsoever. But he is managing to draw it out a bit. They're probably going to end up losing the tower at least. Might go for the deny. And VP to say, all right, let's go Roche.
If they can get the Roche to do that again. But at the same time, the next time they do go for that push, you know, the song that we talked about, it is then going to be available. So maybe they can turn. But they've really got to respect No Fear on this Disruptor. They just can't group up like that. Even if it is just a Disruptor there that they can see in the immediate sight, because there's always going to be the backup of VP coming in with those Blink Daggers, jumping forward. And Diggity want to fight around the Roche pit this time. With the Song back up, they feel that they've got the strength to do so. You look towards Kezu. He's got the wall available again in 10 seconds. They can try and contest this. Bash onto a lower dance. In fact, oh, that bash might just end the fight, but FNG's there with a save. Swaps out lower dance. Era moving in with the combo onto FNG, but again, the Static Storm is going to trap Era, but lower dance moving in with the Blade Fury. Era's got in the RP onto 3. G's there with a burst. They'll get out the Song of the Siren. Cinder and looking for the TP out. So is Quakefa. They realize this is not the fight for them around the Roche pit. I mean, they keep the casualties minimum. But VP, it's just not good enough for Diggity that fight. I mean, that really is the kind of the bittersweet situation. They lose
was really
Roshan.
close, though. It was really close. If the swap hadn't been there, they might have been able to kill the Juggernaut before. Like, even though I think he was spamming Mantis style after the Boulder Smash came out, if he goes down, then I think they win that fight. Because maybe then Cinderin decides that he wants to drop wards as well. On top of that, you put him inside of the Roshan pit. Just causes a really hectic engagement. And the other thing is Quakefa, his illusions weren't really spread out, so I think he couldn't stop the blink from Yoku, even having the gem and the radiance up. If he was a little bit better about spreading the illusions, maybe he stops that 3-man RP and also could have changed the fight, but yeah. I
mean, off the back of that as well, so G, he's now got an AC done on the Queen of Pain. You look at the cooldowns, and off the back of that fight, they didn't use Omni Slash, they didn't use Sonic Wave, so they've got the Aegis now as well, so VP are going to come in incredibly hard with this push on the mid lane. And you don't have Song.
For a minute.
So how do you hold this kind of defense? I don't think you do for this set of Rex. I mean, Yapsor's trying to jump in, look to kick this one off, but immediately Odar's just coming in with the right clicks, the Blade Fury to finish it off. I mean, this is a Juggernaut that's 8-0-9. Aloha Dance having an absolutely flawless performance so far this game.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, looking back at the drafts, I still feel like No Diggity's draft isn't like super... It's not overly greedy, but it is kind of greedy. I think that VP just straight up outplayed them.
I mean, it feels like they just rate the Naga too highly.
I don't know, actually, if that's true. Okay.
Okay, with a combo like that, maybe they can take down G, but he has indeed got the Aegis. That is wall, and Serpent Ward's dropped. Vince back onto Quakefa. They don't quite get the catch on him, though. A little bit off point there with the Static Storm. Nonetheless, VP looking to back up. They have got RP in Yoku with the Shadow Play, but again, it's so hard to do so against these Naga illusions with the Radiance, with the Gem. Now, this is hard. I mean, it really is all on the Naga to just hold these waves out. But VP, we've seen how hard they can punch, and it's just so risky for No Diggity to try and take fights outside their base at this point, because VP, they have the tools to turn it.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, it's one of those situations where you look at the early game and you think, okay, maybe if I didn't just go super aggressive this one time and die, or we make a handful less mistakes, maybe the game turns out a little bit differently. But VP, with a very dominant lead now after having taken the mid-set of racks, and the Juggernaut is just freaking rich. Like, he just bought a basher on the Courier. He's going to be going back for the Abyssal Blades, so pretty standard stuff coming out from him.
Looks like they're just trying to go for these out towers. There's only one left, the tier 2 on the top lane. That's going to be VP's aim. And there's rune up on G, seeing what he can find towards the mid. Just needs to be careful with this Naga on the board, and Quakefa coming out heavy on the mid lane.
Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much goes to show how the early game went for No Diggity by that stat right there. Only 3 other games having less than 3 kills. Basically, it ain't great.
Yeah, and the Abyssal's now done. Aloha Dance with a very, very impressive Jug performance today. And this is kind of what you expect from a Jug Magnus combination, especially when you get the start that you did this game. You're going to be able to farm so fast. You dish an incredible amount of damage, and just like that, they blink out. G pops the BKB. Ward's been dropped to low. Sorry, I'd say blink out. He's blinking in. He's looking for Sin. The wards have been dropped. He doesn't care. Sin, oh, he might live. He's going to live. Era turns in with the combo. The Sonic Wave from the sidelines, bringing them down low, but FNG's going to be the first to fall off the back of this one.
Gem.
VP.
This is super ham.
They do still have the RP. Yapso comes in, and there's the damage from a low hard dance with the Omnislash. They will lose the Disruptor. The Magnetizer Yoku with the 2-man RP and the damage from a low hard dance as he moves in, looking for Quaitha. Can he get the kill? He will. It's a double kill for G as the Nugget burns down to the Soul Burn from the Orchid. There's buyback from 2 of them as now VP are the ones retreating. We're getting 2 buybacks out of the side and no Diggity. It's a defense, but it's a costly one.
I mean, I guess it's still overall, okay, so the total gold exchange with the gem, I think it's actually still worth it for no Diggity. Because, like, obviously FNG leaves a gem inside of the base, so that gold swing in of itself means that they come out a tiny bit ahead. And it does mean that Cinderen's probably never going to get an item after Arcane Boots, which is a little bit unfortunate, but...
He's used to it.
Yeah. Wait, did they even see the gem? Yeah, it's just chilling there. I don't know. Okay, they have to see it.
They got it, they got it.
There we go. Because he's like, yep.
Oh.
The Bloodthorn.
Yeah, I mean,
it's really good against...
incredibly stacked.
It's good against Naga because she usually builds into Butterfly at some point, and she has Radiance. So if you have that debuff on the hero after Manta Style goes off for whatever reason, or heck, just even anyone, you don't have to worry about the Radiance miss. You can focus down the Tiny, you know, whoever you jump on just straight away. And he knows with BKB, he's really safe. Like, Naga can't really do anything to Queen, especially with the build that he's gone, because even if you're BKB'd and you get netted, you still have an AC and Vlad's Aura, which is a tremendous amount of armor. And Era does not really have the items to right-click you down, nor does Quaitha yet. Like, he needs one like right-clicking item on top of the Octary and Radiance.
Smoke a bit from VP, seeing if they can catch anything out. And, oh, not going to be able to get anything. Actually, they get themselves onto Kezu, but not really in a position to take down the Darks here. It's actually just these illusions. I mean, forcing back FNG, he's down to a fifth of the life.
My God, this is like the total... This is a Naga Siren effect. Look at... Just compare Quaitha's level to the Juggernaut's level. It is a 6-level difference.
This is...
That's just how scared...
I can't remember the last time I saw Jug just have such a clean game.
Well, it's because of how scared Quaitha has to be. He can't go and farm creep waves himself. It has to be illusions. And since it's not him, he's not getting EXP. And that means that you're so far behind. Like, having that 45-second lesser cooldown on Song of the Siren is massive, because it means you can almost use it every creep wave. Or every 3 creep waves, you get 2 songs. You can think of it that way. But because of the fact that it's only level 2, it means that he's not able to consistently set up for these fights.
And with the BKB done on a lower dance as well, there's literally nothing to stop him just running at you. Running in. If he gets the Abyssal on you, you're gone. A couple of slashes. He's hitting crits for about, what, 800 or so now?
Yep.
That drums are gone. BKB's in.
Dire's bottom tower is
Also
under
worth
attack.
noting, no fear. He's close to that Aghanims.
That is just going to be... I mean, if there wasn't already enough nails in this coffin for no Diggity, that's going to be another one.
I mean, they do have this Naga. It really is. It's all about the Naga play this game. How annoying it could be against VP's lineup. And if it's going to be enough to eventually allow Diggity to find these fights where they can swing it around. But they need the perfect... They need the perfect play. They need this song into the vacuum combo.
Yeah, that is pretty much the play. But their setup is... It's pretty much their defensive utility is also their setup. So you kind of want to ideally song for it, you know? Because that's the easiest thing to execute. You song, you cancel, you get the vac into stun. Everyone can be on the same page. Lowest chance for failure. But if you use song and it doesn't work, and you're like in this situation where, you know, VP are running at your base,
I'm in trouble, boys.
Structures are fortified.
Put the fortification, but VP, they're just going to stick around for this one. And they're going to find the melee racks. What are you going to do about this? Net out onto a low hard dance, but he's fine, blinks away. They managed to clear that one out. Should be ready to go for more as well if they want to. How long are we looking till Roshan? Roshan is in fact just now back up. So if VP head over there, that's pretty much perfect timing. They literally go over there as soon as it respawns. This is going to be cheese as well.
No Diggity kind of has to fight this. If they don't fight this, they're just going to keep running at their buildings. Like, top lane is exposed, no tier 3. I don't know if they can delay the game long enough. Like, can you stop VP from walking at your base for another 6 minutes? I don't think you can.
I don't know. I mean, Quaitha is getting bigger and bigger, but you just look at VP's lineup and it's absolutely terrifying.
I mean, I guess the bright side is he will probably be able to get 16 before VP get to the base. Yeah, he's only 100 experience away, so the level 3 song will help a lot. I actually think that that was a huge issue for them this game, is because they got so far behind in the laning phase, the way that Quakefa had to play and the way that Era had to play, you know, they were pretty much just rats. They weren't trying to fight. They were just walking around the map, split pushing, doing all that kind of thing. But this is the classic Naga. So you lose your laning phase, you get really far behind, you have a ton of CS, but you're low level.
No, I just told this. I mean, Aloha Dance, he doesn't even wait for the rest of the team to get there. Just waltzes in.
You don't even need to. Building's down. He needs the song, I think.
They need to do something.
No, he can't even pop song. He wasn't fast enough TPing back to base.
Dire's top tower
Well, at least they do get the top tier 3 in return.
I mean, that was just Roshan, Rax, 0 contention from no Diggity. They didn't try to fight. They didn't go for a pick. There was no smoke. It was just objective into objective. No deaths on either team. Walk away. I think VP are still okay with that. Like, there's nothing really that they're losing out on.
Yeah, well, they're not even really trades. Yeah. They just clean up VP, finding the big objectives, and Diggity struggling.
I mean, the butterfly is going to help a bit, I guess. But does Quakefa have the amount of money that he needs to try to, like, 1v5 defense?
I mean, as you said as well, you know, they do have this Bloodthorn. You catch him out post-Manta, and he's still going down, evasion or not.
He'll go down real fast as well, especially with the amount of damage that the Juggernaut does.
Yeah. And G's going MKB as well. He's even prepared for this.
Yep.
So he doesn't even have to rely on the Bloodthorn.
I mean, this is just crazy how far ahead VP are at this stage in the game.
Let's see what we can do here. Holding Aloha back and just running away from the Jug, understandably so. I mean, this Juggernaut is absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying indeed.
They're going for a smoke wraparound.
There we go.
Kezu may be going in for the vac behind enemy lines.
If they can get this set up,
they know they have to fight here. There's no other option. Like, you actually have to just go.
Surging, just going. There's the vacuum onto 3. The combos where Zera comes in and RP's return. They're trying to turn it, but they've already lost one.
Oh
They're going to but the damage from this Juggernaut is too much. They'll find G here with the Hex. They'll take down Quad, but he's got an Aegis. He's going to be back for round 2. And VP do take a few casualties in this fight, but they've still got G and Aloha Dance alive. And G just jumps in onto Sinner on 1, 2, 3. They'll take him down. There'll be a buyback from Era. G blinks out.
He's got Song again at 15. I think they have to chase this out.
If they can get the kill onto the Quap, maybe. I know he gets himself away. Aloha Dance is still A-okay. And okay, he just jumps back in. Ooh! The slide back slash down.
That was the Tokyo Drift kill right there.
That was absolutely beautiful.
I mean, that was about as good as you could have expected it to go. The supports died pretty quickly. They didn't even get Static Storm out, so all things considered, could have been a lot worse. They get the Aegis off G. They didn't lose the tier 3 even. That was probably about the best defense you can get if you're in no Diggity shoes right now.
They're going to have everyone back down here on the lane again to try for another push hit.
I mean, they even have Naga buybacks, so the Naga Siren can go in, pop a song or whatever, delay. VP maybe engage, maybe they don't. And then if you end up dying, you can just buy back and try to hold your last set of racks here. But this is kind of what I was saying is, the Naga Siren pick is greedy, but honestly, if they executed a better early game, I still feel like their draft could have worked out very well. Because what happens if the Naga Siren gets to like the items without the supports giving away so many kills, and like how little utilization we actually saw of Mass Serpent Ward this game? Like, they weren't trying to go and push. They were always getting picked. Like, VP were just playing such a fast tempo that they were not prepared.
There's fortification coming out from the side. Oh no, Diggity jumping for Kezu,
Nice.
back 1 to 3, the wall as well, and there's the follow-up Spirit combo, can they actually burst them down? No, Yoku gets the B giving up the
Oh
RPs,
my
the RP
God.
slash ripping through them. Era's now down for AGJ, they jump in, Abyssal onto Kezu, Darkseer is gone as well. There's 2 dead, Omniing through, finds himself a 3rd, Aloha Dance, he's an absolute beast, and Diggity, what's their response? 3 buybacks coming out, but Era, he can't get himself back into this one. Aloha Dance just focusing on the objectives, looking for the rack, he's gonna get it here. Kezu's jumped in again, but he just gets absolutely destroyed. Can they kill this Juggernaut? Can they kill him even once? They would love to. This man, he's got a lot of money that will be going their way if they can do it, but they can't. They can't catch him out unless Yapsa gets this kick on point. He looks for it, but the Blade Fury's there, and Quaifa, he's getting taken down the side as G jumps in. Aloha still toying with him, and GG is called. 43 minutes in, VP take the game 33-10. And I mean, yeah, we're talking about the roster switches back up from VP, but it seems to be working. When you see Aloha Dance play carry like that, 15-0-15. It's what? I mean, that literally is GG easy in the eyes of Aloha Dance, and look, that he feels it there as well. Here's Aloha.
I don't blame him, man. He played an amazing game.
That was.
But you have to give all the credit in the world to the supports, I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the team as a whole.
Like, they were the ones who were making everything happen.
Yeah.
FNG and No Fear walked around the map. They were killing everyone. Like, as soon as a tier 1 drops, they smoke, they cut through mid, they find more kills, they pressure Quaifa non-stop. Even if they're not finding him, they're actually just making it so he never gets levels. He never gets the farm that he needs. You know, and even though he had like, what, a 17-minute radiant or something like that, I never really felt the impact of the hero. The Shadow Shaman ended up kind of falling flat for me in this game, mainly because the tempo was too quick. Like, even though Cinderin got a lot, Yoku also had Arcanes and was like level 7 at like 11 minutes or something like that, right? So he still got a tremendous amount out of his lane as well. Yeah. And when the other supports are getting a lot, and you're kind of like sacrificing one of yours, because Yapsa was just running around trying to make things happen, whereas the off lane and both supports of VP are getting a lot, you're just automatically behind. Because everyone at VP was doing well. There wasn't anybody who was suffering. Normally you sacrifice a lane, VP just won all their lanes.
They really did. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, game 2. Sind and the boys, I feel they can't pull out the Naga strat again. They've tried it a couple of times today, it just hasn't worked out. I mean, you can clearly tell that he's a very good player on the hero. You know, he finds the farm, and it's definitely not on him. It's just as you said, the early game. I mean, with that kind of strat, if you're getting the time in the Radiance, you can kind of still afford to kind of sack a little bit in the early game, but just not as much as you did against VP. And as you said, the fact that VP's cause was just given so much space. Aloha Dance in particular, as we said going into this one, this was something that VP, as a team, they're just very comfortable running this kind of strategy, and we saw it just be executed absolutely perfectly there. So game 2, around the corner, we'll see if VP can clean this one up with a 2-0, if Diggity can come back with something harder. Of course, the loser of this series